Greetings from Mobility Outlook and welcome to yet another episode of Mobility Conversations. Our guest for today is Mr. Vijay Sharma, Managing Director FEV India. Vijay, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thanks, Murali, for having me on board.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Vijay, can you elaborate on the latest trend that FEV is facing? Then how is it now catering to the requirement?
Yeah, thanks for asking this, Murali. So, FEV is in India since 2006. And predominantly, we started working for powertrain engineering. And in order to support the different technical aspects of powertrain engineering, be it design, simulation, validation, calibration, we also set up our technical center in Pune, beautiful technical center and so on for us. In due course of time, then we grew our capabilities into the vehicle design engineering, where we are supporting for all aspects of the vehicle design, be it body, interior, exterior, chassis, architecture, and so on. 2020 has been a turning point for us, where we took big decision to develop India as a global center for software engineering. Yeah. So where we decided to build competencies into software-defined vehicle, AutoSAR-based software, cybersecurity, function safety, e-cockpit, connectivity, autonomous drive, and so on, all this. So I would say that FEV has been kind of, always ahead into, supporting the technology trend for the automotive industry. And then same we realize for the Indian market for this. So we are a proud team of 1,000 engineers working at India Center. And from this center, we are supporting the Indian clients as well as our global locations, both. Yeah. So I think FEV has really following the automotive trends, and whatever the technology trends automotive industry could foresee, well within time, we also transformed our skills and our competencies.
From one element to multiple elements of the car, I think end-to-end you cater to. But looking at the vehicle design, every aspect of vehicle design is changing because it is, especially in the Indian context, because customers look for more values. How do you support these kinds of developments?
I think it's a very valid point, Murli. So if you see like few years before and today, so the vehicle design is much more than mechanical engineering.
True.
So if you look, the architecture of the vehicle has to be in hand to hand of the vehicle design, and one side all the mechanical aspects of the vehicle, but now you have to have the autonomous features of your vehicle. And also, you have to have you have to implement a lot of user experiences into the vehicle for this. So, beside this, I think electrification is also a big topic. So, you might have seen that now most of the OEMs are working on born electrical vehicle platform. So that means they are developing entire new platform, which is more suitable for the electric vehicle. So, which could be best fit for the battery design and also all the software or the feature aspects of the vehicle.
It's correct. So, again, customer expectations, from the point of view of comfort, convenience, then they wanted actually to be their second home because the travel time is more. So, what aspects do you see while developing your solutions to support these requirements of OEM?
Very, very valid point, Murli. So, we had a lot of technical leadership discussions within FEV, and we could realize that now vehicle or the future generation vehicle is like a smart mobile on wheel. So whatever the experience you can have with your smart mobile, I think your expectations are even more for the vehicle for this. So in that aspect, I would say that your e-cockpit, your infotainment system, where you will see now a lot of service based user requirement will be implemented. So that means day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis or month-to-month basis, you can decide that which apps and which services you want to use and which apps and which services you don't want to use. So rather you can purchase those applications rather having permanent in your vehicle and so on for this. So this is the one aspect. And the second aspect, I would say that this software-defined vehicle is changing the entire gambit of the vehicle architecture for this. So, but this is more, I would say that from the design point of view, that instead of having 150 or 160 ECUs in the vehicle, now you want to run this entire vehicle with 4 or 5 HPCs for this. I think that is also a big change in terms of the future vehicle requirements.
Okay. Now, you talked about software, but software content is, the electronic content is increasing.
Yeah.
And to support, to drive it, software has to, increase. No, there are challenges from the, solution provider's point of view and also from the customer's point of view, like the OEM's point of view, because they'll have to have a middleware to support all these things, etc. So this is a very complex situation. How do you really, help them in mitigating this situation?
I think this is also a very important question, and we come across such kind of discussions when we are talking with different OEMs and the tier suppliers and so on. If you look 2 years before, how the OEM has organized their supplier partners and so on. So most of the electronics and software topics, they were 100% relying on the suppliers for this. But now, with the advent of electrification and the smart mobility, so more feature-based requirement for the vehicle, now the OEMs are seriously thinking that what is their part into the vehicle. And here the software comes into the picture for this. But Murli, I can tell you that it is very little known that software is much more complex and it requires many more skillful people than what you used to see
earlier
and so on. So I fully echo with you that finding the right talent and ramping up the capacity where the OEM can own the bigger part of the software into the vehicle is going to be a big challenge for this. And I think this is one of the area where FEV is bringing a lot of value to our OEM and the tier 1 supplier partner and so on. So we have, just like give an example for the software defined vehicle, we have already worked with different chip suppliers, with different hypervisor suppliers, with different AutoSAR stack suppliers. We have been building our own middleware, and we have been translating the traditional ECU software into the service-oriented architecture. And we have already, you might have seen at our booth that we have demonstrated this, and now we are bringing this into the vehicle. So I would say that first, the OEM has to own more software part on their side. This is the future, and everyone has to accept it. Number 2, it will be very difficult to build up their own, to ramp up their own capacities and to develop the competencies. So they have to find the reliable partner, at least for initial 5 to 7 years by the time they build and their own capacities and their own competencies and so on. So I think software is going to be a big topic for the OEMs and the tier 1.
And this is more pronounced with the SDVs, no? Because that's entire vehicle will be defined.
Sure. And you see, when we are talking about the SDV, but you could see that SDV is changing, number 1, the entire architecture of the vehicle. Number 2, it is also changing the entire software structure of the vehicle. So that means now your software will be completely independent from the hardware. In today's scenario, you could see you are dealing with 140 and 150 ECUs. So you have 140, 150 hardwares, And then software is also coming from the suppliers and so on. So, you can see the kind of complexity you are running. Okay, OEMs are not realizing it because it is in the hands of the suppliers today. But in the future, now if they want to own or they have to own the major part of the software, then I think they need a simplification on the hardware side. And SDV is bringing exactly the same thing on the tech.
Okay, great. Very interesting to know, Vijay. Recently, large tier 1 companies have voiced their concern on the middleware that you talked about. And then they were inviting the other of their peers to support in developing the middleware. So the situation is like complex. There are software developers, there are middleware developers, and then companies like FE is also getting into play. How do you see this scenario?
Yeah, I think this is again a $1 million question. So until now, the approach or the experience was that anybody who is giving the ECU, he is end-to-end responsible for the hardware, for the firmware, for the middleware, and for the application software. So it's like a black box coming to the OEM, and the entire responsibility is in one hand. But now, if we are talking about this next generation architecture and in particular SDV, I think there are many layers. But we also have to accept that these layers can be achieved with multiple players. So I just gave an example that even if you finalize your chip supplier, you still need the different kind of operating system. You need a different kind of, say, AutoZar stack and so on. So if you want to build this middleware and so on, I think you can build this only in the partnership way for this. So you have to have the partners for the different, say, stacks or different, say, pieces into the middleware. And of course, the OEM or their engineering partner can take the responsibility of the overall integration and the overall ownership of that middleware and so on.
So overall responsibility should be taken.
Yeah. So for this, so I think I would say this will also evolve if any company today claim that they have a full middleware available and production level maturity and so on. I think it will be a big statement, I would say, for this. It is evolving, and everybody are working into different consortium and different partnership model and so on.
Okay. You also support the body in white requirements, the end-to-end as OEMs are working on many things to achieve their sustainability goals. One is the weight reduction. Second is on the powertrain enhancement, improvement, etc., etc. But it's constantly evolving. As a solution provider, in terms of testing and other thing, you need to actually think well ahead of what is going to come, and then be ready by the time they are coming out the product.
So I think, Murali, here I would say that if you talk about the sustainability or say the circular economy for the automotive industry, I still believe that that the energy storage is the maximum content of that. So if you are talking about the sustainability and the recyclability, I would say that the battery is one of the biggest topic, because imagine we just started with electric vehicle, but as of today we do not know that how long this will work. Of course, everybody has their life cycle assessment, validation, predictions, and so on for this. But I believe that end of automotive use is not the end of the battery uses. Then you have to
plan
the second life of the battery or second use of the battery, and even you can plan even the third cycle of the battery and so on. So I believe battery in any case is 35 to 40% cost of the vehicle, but still the recyclability and the sustainability of the battery, I think it has to be planned or it has to work out and so on for this. So I think in coming years we'll see that many more players will enter into that, and this area will have more say traction. Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about that FEV vehicle?
it's also a very interesting story for FEV into the vehicle. So until 2004, FEV was again known more for the powertrain and so on. But I think FEV owner realized that we will never be complete without getting into the vehicle engineering. And then for next 10 years, FEV had strategic acquisitions of different vehicle companies, like one company into the body and white, one company into the interior, one company into the lighting, one company into, say, the E architecture, one company into the CAE. And this is how they try to connect the dot to make FEV as a complete vehicle design company. And if you see today, FEV can offer the complete turnkey vehicle design and development program for this. So we have done now such program where FEV has taken the complete vehicle design and development responsibility. And today I'm very proud to share that FEV can offer the complete chassis development, the vehicle architecture, body in white, as you rightly mentioned, the interior, exterior, lighting solutions, the entire CAE package for crash, durability, dynamics, and NVH, so that we can offer. And after that, we can support into the prototyping, and then we can take the full responsibility of the validation from the mechanical validation and also for the full vehicle test for all the EE components and for the software functionality. So I think FEV. So I would say that FEV is among very few company who can provide end-to-end solution for the entire automotive company for this, whether it's a powertrain side, whether it's a vehicle design side, whether it's electrification side, or whether it's a software side. So FEV covers the entire automotive gambit, I would say.
Okay. What type of contributions FEV India offers to the headquarters?
Yeah, this is also, I'm very happy to share this. Until 2019, as I mentioned that we were working more for the powertrain topic. And since our headquarters had 45 years of legacy, so a lot of experience and knowledge, best practices were available. And we always were proud to use that experience to deliver mature solutions and the right solutions to our clients in India. But from 2020 onwards, the way we evolved and changed into the vehicle and electrification and software areas, many of software areas, especially the software-defined vehicle, cybersecurity, functional safety, e-cockpit, connectivity, AutoSAR-based software, we are one of the leading players within FEV Group for this. And even at FEV Group level, they are very happy to utilize FEV India experience and expertise into those areas for the global requirements and so on. And there are many examples, many projects where even India Center is leading the entire project execution for, say, out of India projects and so.
Can you share one or two without naming the client?
Yeah. So I would say that with one of the Asian OEM, India Center has taken full responsibility for software-defined vehicle EE architecture development. So we are, it's a team of around 140 people are working onto that project. We are responsible for entire system-level requirements. We are responsible for component-level requirement. We are doing the logical function architecture, system architecture, network design, and the software integration for this. So it's a huge responsibility, production program, where the vehicle will be launched somewhere in 2026, and we are proud to share this information that India Center is end-to-end responsible for such kind of development and so on. And FEV Group is also equally proud that India center is capable to take such kind of responsibility.
Vijay, what's your vision for FEV India?
So, Murali, I would say that the journey which we started from 2020, I think this must continue. And I would say that we have already say, on very good side of FEV group into those areas. But we also realized that engineering service is the one part, but now slowly and slowly we have to invest more time in developing, say, platform and the solutions for this. And our own development of the platform and the solutions, I think, will always give the head start to the OEM to optimize their production timeline, and will also give, say, more confidence to the OEM partner to choose FEV as an engineering partner and so for this. So I would say that now next 3 and 4 years are more to spend time in developing, say, the platform and solutions.
Great. Lovely, Vijay. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for sparing valuable time. Thanks.
Pleasure meeting you, Murali. Always.
Thanks. Thank you.